We're a 31-year organization providing resources to all businesses at all stages. From conceptual, I have an idea, how do I make this into a business, all the way to established firms, multi-million-dollar contracting, whether it's government or corporate. And as you can imagine, the conversations or the resources along the way are going to be different. And so how we support City of Chicago and other government agencies is particularly through our PTAC, our Procurement Technical Assistance Center. And what a PTAC is, it's actually 7 PTAC centers in the state of Illinois. And we're government funded to specifically help business owners navigate through the government procurement process. So any firm that's looking to do business with the government, whether it's city, county, state, or federal, we help kind of navigate through that process. And what that may look like is one-on-one advising, right? Not to say that we have all the answers, but the more we know about our businesses, the better we can pad you with the appropriate resources to get you to grow or scale. Workshops, seminars, and webinars. We try to make it convenient. Sometimes we'll have them in the afternoons, the evenings, the mornings. The webinars, particularly just because not everyone can get away from their businesses. But we try to supply our clients with the educational components, learning the lingo of government contracting, right? Getting yourself procurement ready, getting those capability statements, making sure that you're ready to present your capabilities to the government agencies such as City of Chicago. Procurement events. We try to host events and bring our government agency and their representatives out in front of you so you can connect. It's one piece to register on the procurement sites, become certified, but there's also that relationship building component that's still key in government contracting. And so we try to create platforms for our clients to leverage to get in front of these folks and build relationships. And of course, connections and contacts all kind of roll up into that. Another thing that we do, and Millie mentioned it earlier, is the socioeconomic certifications, the MBE, the Minority Business Enterprise, WBE, Women's Business Enterprise. We also help our clients go through that certification application, gather the supporting documents, and actually apply and make sure that you're in compliance with the ask. And then once you become certified, we help leverage those certifications. As it was mentioned that the government has mandate spend. So although it may be a full and open competition contract, in that contract it still may say, hey, Mr. Prime, Mr. and Mrs. Prime, you have to do X amount of spend with a diverse firm. Diverse meaning minority, women, veteran-owned, persons with disabilities. And so having that certification can definitely leverage getting your foot in the door, maybe even obtaining a subcontract opportunity if you're not yet ready to be a prime. We help with research in those contracts, right? There's several out there. So we help research and navigate through the different registration portals and procurement sites. And one real bonus about becoming a part of our PTAC is that we have this profile, this system named BidMatch. And what it does is we build a profile for you, and then it fetches over 1,400 different national databases to find contracts opportunity. And then it'll email you directly those opportunities that's closely related to your industry or what you do. And so sometimes you can use that for just kind of understanding where you fit in the market, who's buying what you're selling, right? You can find that out through this BidMatch service, which oftentimes costs a lot of dollars outside of using it through a PTAC. And then let's say, fingers crossed, you get those contracts. We assist with contract management. Sometimes it's, I've won this contract, now what? How do I, make everything just kind of scale appropriately? And so we help, plug in the pieces and make sure that you can perform as expected. And if you don't win, no fret. We help our clients actually get a debriefing from the government agencies, find out why you didn't win, maybe even request a winning proposal so you can compare, like, hey, this proposal said X, Y, Z, or they priced this way. And that way it'll better prepare you for future opportunities that you may respond to. So PTAC is one of the many programs at the Women's Business Development Center. But as it relates to government contracting, it is the one that we partner with the most. But we also have different cohort programs that provide the educational components. So our clients are very skilled, and you all know what you're doing in terms of the products or services that you offer. But sometimes it's running a business, right? It's the human resource, it's the technology, it's the financials. the financials, that we get hung up on. And so we have a couple of different cohort programs that help our business kind of get the holistic aspect of running a business. And so one of them is a plan for profit. That's more for our startup, emerging business owner. And then we have Scale Up Aurora, and that revenue threshold begins, I think, at $150,000 and up. And then we have Scale Up Inglewood, which didn't necessarily have just completed our first cohort. I think 2 weeks ago they graduated, so that was a really big thing for us. And we didn't attach a financial threshold. We wanted to know the businesses in the area, what the demand was, and how we can be a resource to those businesses. And so we found a great success through that cohort, such that we're going to begin one in partnership with Chicago Urban League in the next several months in the same regard, right? Just kind of finding out what businesses are in those areas, and then we're looking to expand. We're also having some conversations north at Belmont and Cragen for similar platforms. Access to capital, right? So sometimes, our business owners sacrifice a lot of their own personal financials and their credit, and so we understand that there's a lot of risk to lending to startup or emerging businesses, and even sometimes established. And so we do have a loan fund, and we lend up to $25,000 to startup or emerging businesses, and up to $75,000 for established firms. They are term loans. Up to 5 years, but we don't. If you go to a traditional financial institution, you either fit in a box or you don't, right? And so we're kind of like the flexi bag of lending. So we try to make it work. And if it doesn't work with us, we aren't selfish in a sense that we're just gonna, you take our product or you don't get anything. We have really strong referral partners, whether through banks or other loan funds, and so. While we may be flexible in one area, or the amount that you're looking for is higher than what we can give you, we'll make sure that you're partnered or pair with one of our other referral partners and give you the most sufficient loan product that you're looking for. And then we're also a certifying agency under WeBank. So WeBank is Women's Business Enterprise National Council, and so we certify this WBE certification, a little different, or much different than the City of Chicago's WBE and the Cook County WBE. Our certification is mostly aligned to corporate contracting. So Jorge mentioned doing business like with utilities like Nicor and ComEd. Oftentimes they'll look for our certification, but because they do have those government contracts, they may accept either or. But if you're looking to do business with corporations, that WBE certification under WeBank will help leverage opportunities in that regard. And we also have a partnership with the City of Chicago where they will recognize our WBE certification within the application process of their City of Chicago WBE certification, and they'll expedite it, right? So they'll expedite the process. But all in all, if you decide to certify, I encourage you just to keep a hard or electronic copy of all of the required documents, because should you certify more than once, most of the information is similar in request. And so, any questions, comments?
Great. Yeah, we'll open it up to questions now.
Thank you. And we can be, if you need more information, I'm here. I have information here, but you can also visit us at wbdc.org. Thank you.
Great. I have one question for Jorge, since it's the Hispanic Association. Do you have to be Hispanic in order to join your organization?
That's a good question. No, you don't. We're a membership-based organization, so if you want to join, our doors are open to everybody. So right now our membership is probably majority Hispanic-based, but we have African-American, women, Indian-American, Asian-Americans, so absolutely, we're open.
And we are not a membership organization, and most of our services are at no cost, too, just to mention that. So the one-on-one advice at no cost, workshops and procurement events, mostly at no cost. If you do, there's a nominal fee, maybe less than $20. Just because you put that $20 on there, people show up, that free event, they register and don't show, and so, but yeah, so we're not a membership. The only membership aspect is a certification, just to make the clarity.
Do you guys have any questions for the speakers?
No, I don't.
You have?
I'd like to know what are the requirements to join either organization.
what are the requirements to join either organization? None?
Ours are pretty simple. You could pull the application from our website, fill it out, send the check in, and the membership committee reviews it. And for the most part, that's it. It depends on your revenue size of your company. They typically can start at $300 a year, all the way up to $2,500 a year. So depending on what category or where your revenue ranges, that's how it's based off of.
And for the WBDC, there's you just call our front office. They'll then ask you to complete an intake form. And once you complete an intake form, you're welcome to attend any of our workshops, seminars, events, webinars, and or the one-on-one advising.
Like right now, I'm just a subcontractor. But it's my understanding I want to get my daughter involved, and she's a female, so I need the women's certification. That's through you?
Yeah, we definitely assist with it. So because there are a couple of, or there are different certifications that you can obtain in the socioeconomic space, right? And so what we do at WBDC in the PTAC area is that we help you identify which certification is best for your business to be leveraged for contract opportunities. So that may be with the city, it may be with county, state, federal, and so forth, but we can definitely kind of dig deep in and have those conversations and align you with the appropriate certification.
Okay. So there is an application process, the intake?
Or the intake just to use our services.
Okay.
The certification applications are very separate, and we can help you apply through those applications.
Very good.
Yep.
Thank you.
Very welcome. Do you have a question? No? Did you want to add anything?
Yeah.
Obviously, if you want to be a member of HACIA, there's an annual membership due. However, I mentioned more of our, what we call sort of our formal training programs. I mentioned it earlier. They typically last between 4 and 6 months. It's twice a week. It's typically in the evening because if you're a subcontractor, you're working most of the day. Those programs are free of charge, and you do not need to be a HACIA member to participate in that. So in your case, for example, we target the owner or the number 2 or 3, and we know that typically in small business, number 2 and 3 is sometimes a family member. And in some cases, we can take more than one participant from a company. So we're typically, each cohort for us may be 18 to 25 companies. And so, like I said, the next one starts in the fall and will go about 4 months. But you do not need to be a member again to participate in our seminars and workshops, but also for our longer term training programs as well.
No more questions? No? All right, great. Sorry, you two people, those in class will be able to ask the questions today. So we do ask you to follow us on social media. We post the bid advertisements, addendums, all of our upcoming workshops, our events, any of our policies, procedures, anything having to do with the vendor community. We put on our Twitter page, Facebook page, and you can watch any of our workshops on our YouTube page. So we ask you to please follow us. And once again, thank you for joining us today. Again, we have 2 of our workshops for next week. That's how to become certified at 2 o'clock in room 103 at City Hall. And then 3:15 is the doing business with the City of Chicago. Thank you so much for being with us today.